Have you ever wondered, like, are humans really the smartest things on this planet?
Hmm. It's a fascinating question, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, we've done some pretty incredible things, but maybe we're not the only, super brains out there.
Yeah, and there could be like other species who are even smarter than us in ways that we haven't even thought of.
Exactly. So today we're going on this deep dive to check out some seriously unbelievable animal intelligence that might just change how we think about being smart.
Right.
Ready to get our minds blown?
I am.
Let's start with primates, our closest relatives. Everyone knows chimps use tools, but they're not just like picking up sticks.
Oh, no, not at
They're
all.
doing way more.
They actually modify the tools, carefully stripping leaves and shaping the sticks to get those termites.
Whoa, so they're like
It's not just instinct, it's totally deliberate.
little engineers in the jungle.
Pretty impressive, right?
Totally. But it doesn't stop there. They also have these super complex social structures.
Oh, absolutely. Like alliances and hierarchies, even strategic conflicts.
Yeah, it's like chimp politics.
It really is. It's like watching a soap opera unfold. But here's something that'll really blow your mind. Chimps have been shown to have better short-term memory than humans.
What? Seriously? How's that even possible?
I know, it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
So there were these experiments where numbers would flash on a screen really quickly, like just a fraction of a second, and the chimps could remember the sequence and order better than most humans could.
Wow. Like their brains are running at warp speed.
Yeah, at least when it comes to remembering things in the short term.
Okay, so maybe we're not so special after all.
Right.
What about orangutans? I've always been amazed by how they move through the rainforest. It's incredible.
Oh, it's amazing, like watching an acrobat effortlessly gliding through the trees. But their physical abilities are just one part of their remarkable intelligence. They also have this deep understanding of their environment, especially when it comes to medicinal plants.
Oh, yeah. I've heard about that.
Yeah.
Like they use plants to treat different problems. Almost like their own little pharmacy in the jungle.
Exactly,
Yep.
like a natural pharmacy. And get this, their knowledge of these plants, sometimes it's even better than local human populations who've lived in the area for like generations.
Wow, it's mind-blowing. So they might know more about the rainforest than people who've lived there their whole lives.
It seems that way. It suggests a really, really deep understanding, like way beyond just trial and error.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So chimps can beat us at memory games, and orangutans might be better herbalists than some humans.
Right. It makes you wonder what else is out there.
What other unbelievable animal abilities are waiting for us on this deep dive?
Well, let's trade the rainforest for the savannah and meet the elephant. We all know elephants are huge,
Oh, yeah.
but their brains are amazing too.
I've heard they have like super memories or something.
Oh, you heard right. Elephants can remember individuals and places for decades, like their whole lives. They have this mental map of their territory, and they can remember specific watering holes or, times they ran into other elephants from years ago.
Whoa, it's like a mental Google Earth
Exactly.
for their entire life.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, but I've also heard that elephants are like really emotional. Like they feel things deeply.
Oh, they are, definitely. Elephants have been seen grieving, being empathetic, and even doing rituals around death. They mourn their lost ones, care for the sick and injured, and just seem to have this deep understanding of how delicate life is.
It's amazing that these giant, powerful creatures have such big hearts too.
Right.
But they're also pretty clever when it comes to tools.
That's true. People have seen elephants using branches to swat flies or scratch themselves, even plugging water holes with bark to keep the water from evaporating. It shows they're good at solving problems and that they know how to use what they have.
But their most amazing ability has got to be their sense of smell, right?
Oh, absolutely. Their noses are like superpowers. It's thought to be 4 times stronger than a bloodhound's. They can even find water that's 12 miles away just by smelling it.
Wow. That's like smelling a barbecue from across town.
Mm.
But it's not just smell. They also have this crazy way of communicating over really long distances.
Right, there's seismic communication. Elephants can actually send messages through the ground by making low rumbles that can travel for miles. It's like their own secret underground network.
So they're not just brainy and emotional. They've got super senses and a secret communication system. Elephants are truly remarkable.
They are. They really are. And speaking of remarkable, let's take to the skies and meet some birds that have surprisingly smart brains.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. What kind of birds are we talking about?
We're going to look at ravens and crows, two of the most intelligent birds on the planet.
I've seen those videos of crows using tools to get food. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, they're amazing problem solvers. They've been seen making hooks from twigs to get insects out of trees.
Wow, that's clever.
Right. And there's this classic experiment called the Aesop's Fable test. They figured out they could raise the water level in a container by dropping stones into it and then reach a floating trait.
Wait, isn't that the test where some crows were actually better at it than human kids?
That's the one. They seem to get this concept of displacement and buoyancy that some little humans just can't grasp yet. But it's not just that they can figure things out. Crows also have incredible spatial memory.
The spatial memory, you mean like remembering where they parked their car?
Uh-huh. Well, not quite like that. More like remembering where they hid thousands of pieces of food across a huge area.
Thousands.
Yeah, and they can remember where those spots are months later. It's like having a mental map of their entire pantry.
Whoa, that's a lot of snacks to keep track of. But wait, there's more, right? Crows are also social learners, aren't they?
They are. They watch each other, remember human faces, and even tell their offspring about things that are dangerous. It's a pretty amazing ability to learn socially and pass on culture.
Wow, so they're not just smart, they're sharing what they know and building their own little bird cultures. But speaking of smart birds, what about parrots? They're known for mimicking human speech, but is there more to it than that?
Oh, for sure. African gray parrots, especially, are really good at understanding and using human language in context. They can get concepts like shape, color, number, and even the idea of zero.
You mean they're not just copying sounds, they actually get what the words mean?
Exactly. Some African gray parrots have even shown that they can solve problems and understand object permanence. You know, the idea that something still exists even if you can't see it.
That's pretty advanced.
Yeah.
But yeah, their ability to copy sounds is still amazing.
Their vocal skills are incredible. They can accurately reproduce human speech, tons of environmental sounds, and even copy the sounds of other animals. It's like they have a soundboard for the whole world.
So we've explored primates, elephants, and birds. Are we ready to dive into the deep end, literally?
Aha, let's do it.
Our next stop is the underwater world. And what better creature to start with than the mysterious octopus?
Right.
They're like something out of science fiction. Super intelligent and adaptable with those crazy arms and their ability to change color.
They're definitely fascinating. Octopuses are masters at solving problems and learning. They can navigate mazes, solve puzzles, and have even been seen opening jars to get to the food inside.
Yeah, I've seen those videos. It's insane how they figure those jars out, using their arms like little tools.
Their tool use goes beyond just escaping, though. Some species collect coconut shells and use them to build little shelters. It shows they can think ahead and plan, which is really impressive.
So they're not just reacting to what's happening around them, they're thinking about the future.
It seems that way. And we can't talk about octopuses without mentioning their incredible camouflage.
Of course not. Their ability to change color and texture in an instant is just mind-blowing. But it's more than just blending in, right? It's like a way of communicating, too.
You got it. They use it to signal their intentions and moods. They can even mimic other sea creatures. It's a mesmerizing spectacle under the sea.
It's like having an invisibility cloak and a whole costume collection all rolled into one.
Ah, yeah.
But here's another crazy fact. 2/3 of an octopus's neurons are actually located in their arms, not their brain.
I know, it's crazy.
So each arm has its own mini brain. That's like having a team of assistants working on different tasks all the time.
Pretty much. It's a level of bodily autonomy that we can only imagine. And while we're talking about underwater intelligence, we can't forget about dolphins. These playful creatures are famous for being social and their incredible communication.
Yeah, dolphins are like the social butterflies of the ocean, living in these complex pods and chatting away with all their whistles and clicks and squeaks. But is their communication really that complicated?
Oh, it's amazingly complex. They use it to exchange detailed information about food, danger, and even who's who. Their social bonds and cooperation are out of this world. Dolphins work together perfectly when hunting or protecting each other.
It's like a perfectly choreographed underwater ballet,
Absolutely.
but with a lot more fish catching.
Haha, exactly. And don't forget their echolocation. That's amazing too.
Ah, yes, echolocation. It's like they have built-in sonar, right? Emitting these sound waves and interpreting the echoes to get a picture of their surroundings.
It's more than just a picture, though. They can actually use it to tell the difference between objects based on how dense they are, their shape, and even what's inside them, all through sound.
Wow, so it's not like a blurry sonar image. They're getting like an X-ray through sound.
Pretty much.
That's incredible. It makes you wonder what their experience of the world is like, you know. Maybe it's much richer and more detailed than ours in ways we can't even imagine. But what about whales? They seem pretty smart too, right? Especially humpbacks and orcas.
You're right. Whales have these complex communication systems. Some of their songs are believed to be passed down through generations, kind of like how humans pass down music and languages. They also have complex social structures and are great at problem solving.
So they have their own whale songs. That's amazing. And what about orcas? They seem super intelligent.
Orcas, or killer whales, as some people call them, live in these matriarchal societies with strong family bonds and super sophisticated hunting strategies. They've been seen working together to create waves that wash seals right off ice floes, which shows how good they are at problem solving and working together.
Wow, that's like a coordinated military operation.
It really is. And like dolphins, toothed whales use echolocation to get around and find food in the deepest, darkest parts of the ocean.
So their echolocation is like super high tech.
It's amazingly advanced. It lets them map their surroundings and find prey with incredible accuracy. And their calls can travel huge distances underwater. They can talk to each other over hundreds of miles, something we can only do with technology.
Like a long distance phone call without any wires.
It's a mind-blowing example of just how powerful natural communication can be. But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, there are a few more amazing animals I think we should talk about.
I'm ready for more mind-blowing animal skills.
Let's switch gears for a bit and talk about an animal whose intelligence is often overlooked. Dogs. We usually think about their loyalty and how great of companions they are,
Oh, yeah.
but there's so much more to their cognitive abilities.
I totally agree. Dogs are the best. But like, besides learning tricks and fetching stuff, what makes them actually intelligent?
One thing that dogs are really good at is emotional perception. They're incredibly in tune with human emotions. They can sense how we're feeling and offer comfort when we're down. It's like they have a sixth sense for our feelings, picking up on little cues that we might not even notice ourselves.
Yeah, that's so true. My dog always seems to know when I'm having a bad day. He'll just come and snuggle up to me, like my furry therapist.
Exactly.
But it's not just about being emotional, right? Their sense of smell is legendary.
Absolutely. Their noses are like superpowers, and we've actually used that power in amazing ways. Search and rescue, tracking, even sniffing out explosives.
It's incredible to think that a dog's nose can be better than some of our most advanced technology. But I've also heard about dogs being used to detect medical conditions, which sounds almost unbelievable.
It's true. Their sense of smell is so sensitive they can actually detect tiny biochemical changes in our bodies. They can identify certain cancers, diabetes, even seizures before any symptoms are even noticeable to us.
Wow, that's like having a four-legged doctor.
Yeah.
Really makes you appreciate the power of a dog's nose. But are there any other animals out there with senses that are as good as or even better than ours?
Let's go back underwater for a sec and revisit the dolphin. We already talked about echolocation a bit, but the way they use sound is much more than just navigation. They literally perceive the world through sound in a way that we as humans can't really understand.
So it's not just like a basic sonar system. They're getting detailed information from sound waves.
Exactly. Dolphins can tell the difference between objects just by their density, shape, even what they're made of, all through echolocation. It's like they're getting an X-ray image of their surroundings just through sound.
That's mind-blowing. It makes you think their whole experience of the world must be completely different from ours, maybe richer and more complex in ways we can't even imagine. Are there any other animals that have kind of surprised scientists with their intelligence? Ones we might not expect?
For sure, get ready to be amazed by pigs.
Pigs, really? I have to admit, I've always kind of underestimated them.
Yeah, it's time to rethink that. Pigs can navigate mazes, understand symbolic languages, and even use mirrors to find hidden food. They can solve problems and think abstractly on a level that rivals some primates.
Wait, they can understand symbols? Like a language?
Yep. Studies have shown that pigs can learn to connect different symbols with actions or objects. That's a pretty impressive capacity for symbolic learning.
Wow, so they're not just smart, they could even understand complex communication systems. Are there any other hidden talents they have?
Well, their sense of smell is amazing, which is why they're so good at finding truffles underground. But what's really interesting about pigs is how complex their social lives are. They have these intricate social structures and build strong bonds with each other. They show empathy and even play with each other.
So they're not just intelligent, they're social butterflies too. Okay, I'm officially a pig fan now. But before we wrap up, is there one last animal whose intelligence you find especially fascinating?
Absolutely. Let's talk about the bonobo. They're a close relative of the chimpanzee, but with a very unique approach to things. Bonobos are famous for being peaceful and affectionate, and the way they handle conflict is something we humans could learn a lot from.
Oh, yeah. Bonobos are like the peacekeepers of the primate world. They're known for their, let's just say, open-minded way of interacting with each other.
Haha, yeah, you could say that. But bonobos are much more than just playful. They're really intelligent and show remarkable emotional awareness. They get each other's emotions, respond with empathy and comfort, and they actually use affection and play to calm things down when there's tension in their groups.
So they're like the ultimate pacifists, resolving their problems with love and understanding instead of fighting. Sounds like a pretty nice way to live.
It does, doesn't it? Their approach to social harmony is really remarkable. They use physical affection, grooming, and play to keep the peace and have good relationships within their groups. It really shows how emotionally intelligent and socially sophisticated they are.
Wow. So we've gone from the rainforest to the ocean depths, meeting all these incredible animals with abilities that really make you rethink what it means to be intelligent. It's mind-blowing, you know? We share this planet with creatures who can smell water miles away, communicate through the ground, and even understand symbols like a language.
It is humbling, isn't it? For so long, humans have thought of ourselves as like the most intelligent beings, judging other species by our own limited view.
Yeah.
But this deep dive has shown us that intelligence comes in so many forms.
Exactly. We saw how crows can be better than us at solving some problems. Dolphins experience the world through a whole symphony of sound we can't even imagine. And pigs have social and cognitive skills that we're just beginning to understand.
It makes you wonder, what other kinds of intelligence are we missing? What senses are out there that we haven't even discovered? What ways of communicating are happening that we don't understand?
It really feels like we've only just scratched the surface. And if these animals are so good at these specific things, what other hidden intelligence are we completely blind to?
It's a great question, and it's one that researchers are working on all the time. As we learn more about how animals think, the line between human intelligence and animal intelligence is getting blurrier and blurrier.
So what's the takeaway for our listeners today? What should they be thinking about when they see animals, whether it's their pet or a flock of birds flying by?
I think the key is to approach the animal world with a sense of wonder and an open mind. Realize that intelligence comes in many different forms, and we still have so much to learn about how other species think and experience the world. Let's drop those old assumptions and appreciate the unique ways that animals are intelligent.
Well said.
Hmm.
Who knows, maybe by studying and appreciating all the different ways animals are smart, we might even learn something about our own minds and where we fit in the big picture of things.
Exactly. We're all part of this amazing, interconnected web of life, sharing this planet with creatures whose minds and abilities never cease to amaze us.
Well, thank you so much for taking this incredible journey with us, exploring the world of animal intelligence. We hope you've come away with a new appreciation for the amazing creatures we share this planet with and a sense of wonder about all the mysteries that are still out there.